Oh, we're going to 15.
I'm ready for 15.
This is, controversial
It
quarterback
really is.
in the offseason here.
Yeah, big time for a number of reasons.
The mentor of mentors.
Don't call me.
Oh, don't call me a mentor. Dare you? Ryan Tannehill, which it's not his job to be a mentor, and he's going to be a good teammate and put up a good example, and therefore will be, wait for it, a good mentor. Still bothers me, that whole subject. It really does. I'm going to go off on a tangent about it, actually, while we're sitting here real quick, just because, more people made a big deal about that, but nobody made a big deal that Teddy Bridgewater was basically trying to stab Tua in the back as he got signed by the Miami Dolphins. That just got no big deal. He wasn't mentoring Tua. We're just going to let him kind of be a backstabber, and we won't talk about it. Okay, cool. But Ryan Tannehill, we're going to make it like he's a bad human being. So, yep, I'm defending Tua on there. Look at that.
Yeah,
what the hell is going on here?
Let the record state.
All right, back to Ryan Tannehill.
So Ryan Tannehill, 12 last year.
Yeah.
11 the year before.
Right.
He dipped.
He dipped a little bit. He had a little bit of a down year. But let me just start off with this.
Okay.
The guy is better than we give him credit for. That's going to be my headline statement.
I always said that for 2 years.
Yes.
This year,
yeah, okay. Well, it was a little bit of a down year. Yeah. I can certainly say
and there are good reasons for it.
That's where I think some people got to back off a little bit with Ryan Tannehill too.
Yeah.
I do. Like with Baker Mayfield, the guy was fucking hurt almost the whole year. Ryan Tannehill, who did he have on his team for most of the year to throw to?
You go back to that year, you had him 11th,
right,
just 2 seasons ago.
Right.
His top 3 pass catchers, they're all gone.
I know.
All of them.
Right.
The offensive coordinator, gone.
Hey, AJ, look, here's to your point. Again, yes, it's not as efficient or as big plays. Or, of course, the pass protection wasn't as good. And, Derrick Henry was playing. And A.J. Brown was healthy for most of the year. This past year, he had A.J. Brown, who was hurt a number of weeks, Julio Jones, who was almost non-existent for the year, and then a bunch of no-names at receiver. Yeah. And then you lose Derrick Henry? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's going to lead you to, maybe I'm going to force the ball a little bit and try to make a play happen when I shouldn't. And that would probably be the downfall of his year, as he let some of that, I think, affect his game to a degree. I will say physically, again, I'm nitpicky here. Do I think he lost a mile per hour or two on his fastball? Yeah. Yes, I do. Does Ryan Tannehill need a system like Kirk Cousins? Yes, I do. He does need a system, but he can bring something to the system, too. This is, to me, where he separated from Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Right? Like where we talked about Kirk Cousins can throw the ball, people bearing down on him, but he still needs space. He's not going to be able to do it off the back foot or sidearm or whatever. Tannehill can do some of that. First off, Tannehill can throw off his back foot and still throw a 20-yard in cut down the middle, and you're being like, man, he had no room, and he couldn't step into that. It looked like he was like a T-Rex and still got it there, like with no arm or anything.
Throws on the move well, too.
Yeah. Exactly right. So there's something else like he has an advantage over Kirk Cousins, let alone can get on the move, and if nobody's there to throw to, can turn it upfield and run for 30, 20 yards. He won some games this year and helped them win some games with some big runs that way. So that's where I say, and within the normal rhythm of the system, this is another thing. I'm comparing him to the guy that was behind him just because this is tight here. These guys are good quarterbacks. Is Tannehill makes more big plays within the rhythm of the system more. Like, here's a play, right? And we want you to look to the out route to the left. And then the second read's going to be an in cut coming over the middle. And then really the third guy might be another shorter in cut coming over the middle. And then the fourth guy on the outside's running a deep post, right? More times than not, guys never get to that deep post.
He can get there.
Tannehill's a guy that can get there or just goes, oh, wait, as I'm dropping back, oh, wait, oh, man, coach told me a few weeks ago, if we run this play and we get this coverage, that post might be there. He will do that, where I would say, like, Kirk Cousins is like, he'll hit some deep shots down the field, but he knows he's throwing it deep. It's like play action, and it's Jefferson and Thielen going deep, so he's ready to throw deep. Tannehill obviously can do that, but Tannehill also makes more big throws, I think, within the normal rhythm of the offense than Kirk Cousins does.
You've done a nice job of pointing out the detail of why he's 15 and Cousins was 16.
Thank you.
My question, how much did the playoff loss and the playoff performance with the 3 interceptions picked on his first play, how much did that have to do with where he is?
Well, it didn't, but I think it was more of a microcosm of maybe the whole year a little bit, where, I think the injuries, the Derrick Henry stuff you brought up, I do think got him to force things a little bit here and there. He didn't manage games quite the same way he had in years past. Thought he tried to force some plays and some moments to kind of get the team maybe jump-started, and didn't need to do that with his team. Like, your defense is good, and you guys still can run the ball pretty good without Derrick Henry. You don't need to throw some tight balls against the Houston Texans in the rain at home that get intercepted 3 times and you lose. I think that, okay. And the other thing that I think the Bengals game was a real thing with, when I went back and watched the throws, he has a little issue of he will stare down receivers. There's no doubt about that.
Happened
after watching
on the
it
first
back.
and third pick, you're right.
100%. Just said, I'm going to look at this guy and I'm going to jam it in. And the third pick is exactly the thing I'm talking about with the managing of the game, where it's like they kind of had control of the game again there. Yeah. And he kind of was like, I'm going to fit this in there and win the game right now. And I wouldn't want to go, wait, they haven't moved the ball in the second half. Right. They didn't do any. They haven't been able to do anything, and you're sacking the other team's quarterback every other time he drops back.
Yeah.
It was that, to me, that was just a little off this year, let alone we know there were some other players that played really good that led to him going down a few spots than where he's been in the last few years.
I like looking at his year compared to the previous, and I think he's either hitting year 10 or 11. So I mean, this guy who's been around a long time.
No doubt.
When he came to Tennessee, didn't have huge expectations from Miami. But I think he was better than most people thought.
100%.
He was really, really good a lot of the time.
Yes, he was.
So now they're the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
They lose at home in the first round.
Yes,
he doesn't play well, 3 picks. They draft his replacement. All of a sudden, this year has a sense of urgency and a feel around it that he hasn't had.
No, I know.
And
He's got.
I'm really looking forward to seeing his response.
I am too. And, hopefully, they got enough talent to support him here. A.J. Brown's gone. Derrick Henry should be healthy.
How do you think he'll look without A.J. Brown?
Yeah, we'll see if that Treylon Burke.
That'll have a lot to do with where he is next year.
No doubt. And especially the way they want to play ball, which is run, play action pass, make aggressive throws down the field. That's the one thing, too, we got to take into account where we don't give him credit for a little bit. He's not in a quarterback-friendly offense. They don't go in the game going, let's get Ryan in rhythm early. Let's make sure we get him 9 for 11. They're going, no, you. We're going to run the ball. We're going to play defense. We're going to beat you up physically. And then, hey, Ryan, your first 2 throws, we're probably going to go play action. You got to throw the ball 25 yards down the middle. Get in rhythm, right? In fact, no, forget your rhythm. Be in rhythm to start the game because we're coming out and doing it. So that it doesn't lend itself always to great quarterback numbers and stuff like that. You got to take that into account a little bit as well. But you're right. I think that game kind of put the microscope on him a little bit. And for whatever reason, as we saw with the mentoring thing, he's a guy that people want to jump on very quickly.
Right.
And like to your point with Miami, that just should have never been. He played really well in Miami.
More times than not.
He really did. And what did people expect with that team down in Miami, that they were supposed to be so good? So, I think those are the things. Can still be dynamic, though. Again, he can still be a pretty dynamic player. He's not going to have a lot of sidearm throws or anything like that. But like I said, he doesn't need room to throw. He's aggressive, and you said it. He makes a lot of throws and plays on the run, and then of course can just flat out run too with the quarterback design run stuff too, to where that adds a little element there. So there's some special physical things he brings to the table. And yes, I don't expect Malik Willis to be able to mess with this guy. One thing I'll say is just the clips I've seen on TV so far too. Malik Willis is smaller than people realize. When he stands next there to Ryan Tannehill, he don't look like all that special just from look-wise. You go, well, one guy looks like a stud. The other guy kind of looks, short and thick.
Yeah.
And so we'll see where that goes. But it ain't going to be like I think people think because Malik Willis was this big talk of the town, and I understand he's got a big arm. But I just, Ryan Tannehill is really good, like you're saying here. And we need to respect it, I think, all of us a little bit more.
Yeah, I had written down, I wanted to ask if any chance we see him benched from Malik Brown this year, and it sounds like you
I don't think so.
Answered that question.
I think, he's got to fall apart. I would imagine he would have to fall apart. And again, I would expect Malik Willis to be really raw and not necessarily the guy they want to trust to play right now. This team's ready. This team could go to the Super Bowl. I mean, their defense is going to be, I think,
check out those early games.
Maybe better.
At the Bills.
Yeah.
Week 2, Raiders, Colts, then Commanders. I mean, and then a bye.
Yeah.
Pretty good schedule.
It's not a bad schedule, no doubt. And, you look at their division, and them and the Colts are clearly the 2 better teams than compared to the other 2. to where you think, damn, Jaguars and Texans could very easily be 4 wins right there.
Yeah.
I expect Ryan Tannehill to have a better year than he did last year, and I think the Titans are, Mike Vrabel and company, they're to me, they're on the right track. They really are, and they'll be a pain in the ass with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback this year.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.